It's Jason here. Just a quick check-in. Hey, if we are in a time of great change. And one thing I'm noticing with a lot of my clients right now and myself is this growth and expansion into this more powerful, lighter, easier flowing way of being where stuff starts to flow. And then there may be a time where you're feeling this kind of bouncing between this new way and bouncing between the old way. And sometimes it could feel like, hey, I'm sitting here at my desk, I'm working, feeling great. And then someone walks up behind you and just sets that old blanket of limitation on you, that wet blanket, and just heaviness just hits you like, ugh. So I don't know if you're experiencing any of that, but I know quite a few people are right now. And my perception and my understanding of what's going on right now is we are going through a growth phase of, like, the world is changing, right? The world is changing right now at an accelerated rate. And what's actually happening is people are changing too. And you're probably starting to notice, if you think about it, that you're not the same person you were 5 years ago and not the same person you were 1 year ago, and not even the same person you were 6 months ago or 3 months ago. I know I'm not. I feel like I'm a different person compared to even 2 weeks ago, right? I'm focused on what I want. I'm less reacting to life. I don't have self-judgment anymore. I still have emotional reactions to things in life, but the self-judgment about my past is literally gone from my life. I'm actually having trouble even remembering my past sometimes. It's kind of funny. But a lot of my clients are experiencing this too, where they're feeling this higher, new, lighter way of being, and then their old pattern keeps coming up. And the thing is, everybody has a growth pattern in their life. And it may be challenges around relationships, or it may be challenges around money, or challenges around work, or challenges around self-confidence, or motivation, or inspiration, or addictions, or whatever it may be. Everybody out there has an area of their life that is not perfect, that takes up a lot of their focus. In my past, it was always around money. And so a lot of times I'd be focusing on money and getting more money and making more money. And I was starting businesses and do these things, and money would start to come in. And when money would start to come in, I would still feel like money wasn't coming in, right? And even the point I am today, I had these feelings in the past where it's like somebody walks up and just sets this wet blanket of limitation on me. And could have been doing absolutely nothing at the time, literally not thinking or focusing on anything, and all of a sudden I feel a radical shift in how I feel emotionally. And what I started to realize is that when I first started to choose that I don't want to live in this world of scarcity, I want to live in a world of abundance, the choice and the decision was the very first part. And as I started to change my inner game and how I was feeling about it, life started to reflect that, and more abundance started to flow and flow and flow. And even when the abundance started flowing, I was in that space and that inner game where I felt confident and abundant and aligned, I still felt the limitation come up occasionally, because it was almost like life said, hey, here's a pattern you've been running for a long time. Are you sure you don't want to run it anymore? So when that pattern came up and I felt the limitation again, even though I had no reason to feel that based on my life situation, I realized this is an old process or energetic healing or something that's going on that I need to further integrate. So here's what I do is I basically put my hands together. You don't have to, but I kind of do this with a breath. And when I do that, I imagine pulling all of me into the center of my heart. That's step one. Pull yourself into your heart. Step two is open your heart wide open. And you can imagine it being a door. You can imagine it kind of being a dial. For me, I imagine this dial that spins and just opens wide open. And then open your heart wide open. Because when you open your heart wide open, you can't be in your head. When you're in your head, that's where the fear and the struggle and the doubts are. So when you pull yourself into your heart, collects all of you, open your heart wide open. Now you are fully centered. And when I felt those times of that limitation feeling coming up again, I did that process. Open my heart. I checked. If it's still there, I do it again. Still there, one more time. I've never had to do it more than twice, actually. I've done it 3 times, but it was already gone. And what that centering does is centers you back into your present power, who you are, and just kind of pushes away and lets go that old feeling that's literally like a fart in the wind. You just need to wait until it goes away. Because if I sat there and dove into that feeling about, oh, why is this here? Why is this here? I'm literally putting energy and focus on it, which is amplifying that energy and making it worse. And literally all that needs to happen is I'm choosing the new way of being. And anytime the old pattern comes up, I choose it again and choose it again. And what I noticed is that I had to choose every 30 minutes at the start. And after I did that, it went to every hour, and then every 2 hours and 4 hours, 8 hours every day, every week, every month. And the gap between it was getting greater and greater and greater as the new frequency of my new foundation is in place. So remember, you're in a time of rapid change. Be very careful about where you focus on, because if you focus on a problem deeply, you're going to amplify it. You want to focus on the solution to the problem. Get out of reaction if you are. Focus on the solution of what you want. That's where your power is. We are creating faster and more powerfully than ever before. So I hope this is helpful. If you need help, reach out. But remember, hands together, pull yourself into your heart. On the next breath, open your heart wide open. And then you get centered. Now you can think. Now you can grow. Now you can react and create. All right? Have an amazing day. Take care.